Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a paranormal video. Well, I'm going to be talking about some paranormal things, and those paranormal things are the paranormal activity that has gone on in the Watts family murder home since 2018, when tragically Shannan Watts was murdered there, and later her two daughters, Celeste and Bella, were murdered by her husband Chris Watts. Not only was Shannan murdered, she was pregnant with their baby son Nico, so 4 people were murdered. It's a horrific case that I'm sure you're all aware of, but there have been many paranormal reports since the murders in 2018, which I believe all of. I've watched all of the footage, I've shared it on my channel previously, but I've never done a video where I talk about the footage, what my thoughts are on it, asking you guys what your thoughts are. I know you might not all believe in the paranormal, and that's fine. Not everybody does. I do. I do believe in ghosts. I have had paranormal experiences myself, quite a few actually, which one day I may tell you all about. But today I want to talk about the ghosts that have been seen and heard in the Watts family murder home. So I'm sure you're all aware that tragically in August 2018, Chris Watts savagely killed his pregnant wife Shannan and his 2 daughters, Bella and Celeste. Since then, police have attended the home to do searches, initially when they went missing. Not only that, there were reports of a break-in at the house, and the police raid the house and look around the house after Chris has been arrested, presumably in 2018, but it may have been in 2019, the next year. And even in that footage, there's paranormal activity. It's all very spooky, it's all very creepy. It could have been faked. I have looked into how it could have been faked, but the ones where there are 2 canine officers going around the house, 2 women with a police dog, to look for evidence of any wrongdoing by Chris or any signs of a struggle, the fact that voices can be heard by them and they react to them by going, "Oh my God, did you hear that?" Oh. And then they start looking around a room to see if a toy made the noise. Those things made my hair stand on end. They made me tingle and go cold and shiver and think, "Oh my God," and just generally sent shivers down my spine. I do believe that the house is haunted, and to be honest, it's not surprising considering what happened there in August 2018.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Yes.
So, one of the first paranormal things that has been reported, like I said, there were 2 canine officers that went out to the house, 2 females. The first thing that can be heard is giggling from a young child, like really creepy. And then the word mommy, or mummy in England, but mummy as in Shannan. That definitely sounds like one of the little girls, there's no doubt about it. The way the 2 canine officers react is really freaky. They're clearly freaked out by it, and they clearly heard it. The older woman seems to hear it more than the younger woman, although they both hear it. And then the younger woman, the police officer I presume, goes through all the toys in the room that they're near to see if any of them could make a giggling sound. And I think once they realise that no toy has made that noise, they realise that it's potentially something paranormal, and they're quite freaked out about it. So not only that, during the same footage of these 2 women in the house, I think before the giggling and the mummy, a ghost child can be seen on the stairs. Now that looks like the youngest child. I could be wrong, I really could, but I do think that's one of Shannan and Chris's daughters on the stairs. It's definitely a small child. I can't be sure which daughter, but that's 100% a ghost, and it's so creepy and freaky to see it. Only does a ghost appear on the stairs, someone giggles, someone says the word mummy. Later on in this search by the canine female police officers, someone says no. really loudly, and it actually sounds like Shannan's voice, which we're all aware of because of all the social media videos that she did on Facebook for her job. We all know that she did a lot of family videos with the girls in, so we know her voice, and that no sounded like her. When the no is said and when the giggling and the mummy is said, both of the police officers react like, did you hear that? Oh my God, that's really strange. And they're clearly freaked out by it. So it's not just us that are freaked out by it. The police officers were. I believe it was Paranormal Activity. I don't see why the police department in Frederick in Colorado would fake something like that. It makes no sense to fake something like that. But the fact that she says no really loudly, oh, it's awful.
Yes. Wow. Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's two other parts of sort of vocal paranormal activity or verbal paranormal activity, and you can hear a woman say, I'm with Cece, which was Celeste's sort of nickname or shortening for Celeste's name. So I'm with Cece, and not only that, this is our home. That one really got me because it was like, oh my God, this is your home. You've got police people looking through it. You want to be in your home. Maybe they were in between dimensions, if that's even a thing. I know some people think I'm mental for saying that, but perhaps they hadn't passed over to the other side. Perhaps they didn't realise they were dead. I don't know. I've not died. Obviously, I'm here sitting here alive, but I don't know what happens when you die. I do believe that people are reincarnated. I do believe there's some sort of afterlife. I do believe spirits remain. And I especially believe that spirits of people that are murdered or die in tragic circumstances that weren't ready to go, didn't know they were going to go, weren't prepared to go, often can't pass over. That's just my belief. I appreciate not everyone's going to agree, and that's fine. But that's what I believe. I think Shannan and potentially one of the daughters, if not both, haunt the house. Sadly, I think they'll probably haunt the house forever. From what I can gather, the house has never been bought. It's quite difficult to try and sell the house. And to be honest, that's not really surprising after what happened there. You know, it was such a tragic thing. I mean, who'd want to buy a house where a woman was murdered that was pregnant and then ultimately their two daughters were took out of the house with their dead body, bunged in a truck, took to a site where Chris Watts, and then we know the rest. I'm not going to go through what he did when he got there because we all know what he did and it's horrific. But how can, well, I don't know. I know not everyone believes in ghosts, but it's obvious to me after how horrifically they were all murdered that their spirits could still linger in the house. Not only that, like I said, when the police raided the house, and there's other paranormal activity, that's not when the canine officers go. The house was raided, and basically you can see a police officer at the end of about a 10 or 15-minute footage of his body cam, and he's pointing it towards the kitchen in that house. And there's two things that I spot. I see a pair of eyes looking back at him from the kitchen, but no body. That's really dodgy. And not only that, when he's pointing his body cam and his gun towards the dining area, which is just the kitchen's here and the dining area's here, there's definitely a figure by the chair. I can see it. I know other people have spotted it. It looks like an adult form. Perhaps it's Shannan. I don't know. It's not one of the children, but there is 100% a spirit by the chair, and there was a spirit in the kitchen.
Anybody in the house?
So not only has that been caught by a police officer, a spirit by the chair, a spirit in the kitchen, a separate police officer catches what looks like a ghost child on the stairs, and as I said, giggling, the word mommy being said, Shannan saying, no, this is our home and I'm with Cece. I mean, the police wouldn't fake this. What would the police gain from faking this, other than maybe getting a lot of views on YouTube and the internet? But why would they do that? They're police officers. So in my opinion, they're all real things that happened. They're all paranormal things. They can't be explained. It's really creepy and really freaky, but I do believe in ghosts. I've had weird things happen to myself over the years that maybe around Halloween I might share with you as a little ghost story or something. But I believe in ghosts. I believe that they haunt that house. And to be honest, it's really not bloody surprising, is it? So also a lot of paranormal investigators have been out and looked at the house, and I'm pretty certain that there's one guy on YouTube whose video I've watched, and you can see a face in one of the top windows. Really freaky, and it looks like a woman's face. And at one point, I think, and I'm going to have to try and find this footage, I may not be able to share it with you guys because it's not my own video, it is somebody else's. So as he went and stood outside the house and filmed it himself, I'll get in trouble if I share it, but I'm sure if you look it up you could find it. It was a paranormal investigator, it was a man, and he went out to the house and he filmed some really freaky shit through the window. So I believe that Shannan is haunting the house. I don't know if both of the girls are haunting the house, but I think one of them is, at least, because you could hear a little girl giggling. That's not an adult giggle. Some people have said that that sounds like Nicole Kessinger's giggle, or maybe she was hiding in the house. Well, considering a canine unit went in, two police officers, shouldn't swear at you, with a dog, a canine dog that's trained to sniff out things, especially humans, hiding, I very much doubt it was her hiding. I do believe that giggle was one of the little girls, Cece or Celeste or Bella, and I don't think that that was Shannan giggling, and I certainly don't think it was Nicole Kessinger. So it'll be very interesting to see in the future if the house is ever sold. I can't imagine it will be. I think the price has been dropped. I think there's even been talk of it being knocked down, but clearly that's not happened. But for the neighbourhood and the people that live near that house, it must be a horrific reminder of what went on there. Even if you didn't know the Watts very well, to know that the two daughters were murdered and that Shannan was murdered in the house while still pregnant. So ultimately 2 people were murdered in that house, 2 took away and murdered elsewhere. It's so horrific. I can't imagine one of my neighbours' houses being like that. I'm walking past it every day and thinking, oh my God, what went on there? So in my opinion, if it won't sell, why don't they just knock the house down? It would stop people coming and looking at it. Not that I wouldn't go out there if I could and have a look for ghosts, but it would stop paranormal investigators investigating the house, and I'm not having a go at them for doing it because I've been fascinated by the videos. But for the people that live local, they don't want all the attention. They don't want the paranormal investigators. They don't want the YouTubers like me. They don't want the press and the media hanging around all the time. I doubt the press and the media hang around much anymore, but they've had a lot going on there. You know, nothing compared to Shannan's family, don't get me wrong, but the neighbours have put up with a lot. So knock that house down, get rid of it, get rid of the reminder of what went on there, and let the residents of Frederick and the immediate vicinity of the Watts homes move on and maybe try, if they can, although I doubt it, to forget what happened in their street. So anyway, guys, as usual, I'd love to know your comments, whether you believe in ghosts or not, whether you think I'm off my rocker for believing them. I'd love to know your comments, so pop them below. Do you think that all the things that I've gone through with you are paranormal? If you don't think they are, what explanation could it be? Could the police be sick and making up this stuff in order to get some publicity or internet hits? Why would they do that? They're police officers. Makes zero sense, but there could be a reason. I don't know. The voices just don't make any sense to me. Now, that child on the stairs could have been faked, but the fact that it appears in a police body cam, which is filmed live, means to me that it wasn't faked. The other two ghosts that you can see, the one by the chair and the eyes in the kitchen, again, it's all filmed from a body cam worn by a police officer. Now, I appreciate that the footage taken on body cams could be amended and pissed about with and edited afterwards, but why would the police do that? What would they gain? I imagine it was traumatic enough being a police officer involved in this investigation, let alone doing all this on the side for a bit of publicity. Makes zero sense to me. But if anyone's got any views that are different to mine, or any other ideas about how this paranormal activity took place, and if it's been faked, how it's been faked, pop them below, because as always, I love reading your comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So whilst making this film about the paranormal activity in the Watts family home, where tragically Shannan Watts was murdered, I have noticed what I think is some paranormal activity that I don't believe, although I could be wrong. Let me know if you have already spotted it yourselves, or if anybody else has covered this in another YouTube video, but I believe I've spotted some paranormal activity that hasn't previously been spotted before. Now, I made this video a few days ago. I'm just getting through to the editing of it now, and after watching the footage over and over again at a slowed down speed of when the two canine officers enter the home, you see what looks like a ghost child on the stairs, but as the camera pans round to the sofa in the lounge or the living room of the family home, there appears to be a black figure with a hooded figure sat on the sofa, all in black. Now that makes me go cold when I think about it. If I am the only one that spotted it, I can't believe I'm the only one that spotted it. I'm sure other people must have done, but I've never seen it covered in another video. So I'm going to share that footage with you again now, and I'm going to share it quite a few times at different speeds so that hopefully you are able to spot what I can see. As always, guys, I'd love to know your comments, so pop them below. Let me know if you can see that ghost. Do you think it's a paranormal activity, an entity, a ghost? Could it be the Grim Reaper? I know that sounds mad, but it does look like a hooded figure in black. Now, it doesn't look like it could be Shannan, but it's definitely a ghost. I can see it. I really want to know, can you see it? So I really want to know, as I said, whether you can see that paranormal activity on the sofa. It looks like a ghost to me. It looks something very bizarre. It's definitely a figure. It looks almost human-like, but I can't see any facial features, but it does look very black and like it's got a hood. It does look like a full-grown adult, so I don't believe it's the ghost of a child. Could it be Shannan? Could it be some other sort of paranormal activity that's gone on in the house? I'm really perplexed about it. I'm going to make a separate video on that clip alone because I feel it's worth doing a separate video on. So I will talk to you about it in another video, guys. But it's such a sad story, and it really disturbs me to think, after nearly 3 years now of Shannan, Bella, Celeste and Nico's murders, that their souls are potentially haunting that house. Anyway, guys, as I always say, this is an awful case. It's one that will stay with me for the rest of my life, as I'm sure it will you. It's nearly been 3 years since Shannan, Nico, Bella and Celeste were tragically murdered. My thoughts go out to them and to their family members and their friends. I can't imagine what it's like for Shannan's family, and I just hope that one day, maybe, they can get a bit of peace. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you're all keeping well and staying safe. I know I haven't done a paranormal video in a while. This channel has really become more of a true crime channel. When I started it, I was going to do half paranormal, half true crime, but my passion is more with the true crime. As much as I am hugely fascinated in the paranormal, I would rather make true crime content. So this is a bit of both, because the Watts murders obviously are true crime and the paranormal aspect of it obviously is paranormal. But I probably will focus more on true crime videos. And as you know, I'll be back very soon with another true crime video. Take care, guys. Stay safe and look after yourselves. Bye for now.